Good morning, traders. Steve Gans here, and I've got a new trade I'm going to share with you today. This is a trade that I've been developing for over a year. I call it the flyagonal. I'm going to show you just a short little diagram on the screen of how this trade works. So watch that, and then we'll get into the trade. So now that you've seen the concept behind this trade, again, it's called the flyagonal. So the reason I call it a flyagonal is on the upper side of this trade, there's a butterfly configuration on the call side. Then on the put side, there is a diagonal configuration. So combine the two, you get flyagonal. As you saw on that little video I shared, the concept here is this trade, when you combine these two items together, the butterfly and the diagonal, they offset each other extremely well. They give you a pretty darn wide tent here. In this case, we're 68.50 down to 66.70. So a very wide tent. More often than not, our market will stay within that range over a period of 8 days. And I'm not looking to take this anywhere near to expiration. Now, I was developing this trade for over a year. I started trading it live in May. Since I started trading this live, I've done 118 trades. Of 118 trades, 112 of them have been profitable. So this trade has generated over a 150% return on the amount of capital that I've deployed to this in a 6-month period of time. That's about a 300% annual return. I'm not going to stand here and say that's going to continue at that pace. I've never seen a trade be as profitable as this has for as long as it has at this stage. But all that said, this is a very solid, stable trade that I have found to be working very well. So I want to share it with you, and here's how I set this thing up. Now, our market is moving a little bit right now. I see that we've dropped a little bit, but the way that I usually set this trade up is I set it up so that the butterfly is right around where our market is currently trading. So in other words, right now we're trading at 67.40. So I have that upper long call. Let's see, I just spun away from that. So I will usually have that upper long call right around that 67.40 area. I try to have the market centered around this trade. And then the put diagonal side, I actually move down a little bit lower. So the general configuration of this trade looks exactly like this. Again, call broken wing butterfly. And then on the lower side, I have sold a put that's the same expiration as everything else here, which in this case is about 8 days out. And then for the long put of the diagonal, I go 10 points lower, a little further out in time. So let me just lock this trade down here. I'm going to save this trade. I will share the link in the description below for everyone. And again, this is called the flyagonal. And what I'll do now on this trade is you should click it, you should open it, you should look at these expirations, play around with it. Let me come in right now and move this back to today's date so you can see how this normally moves going forward. Again, very wide range on this. What I'm looking to have happen is over a period of a couple of days, as theta kicks in, this thing is a theta monster, quite frankly. The theta decay on this is massive, $136 a day. I'm only in these trades, generally speaking, anywhere from 1 to 4 days, somewhere in that general area. So I am not in these trades very long. The other thing that's very interesting about these trades is if our market goes down, volatility usually increases, right? So if our market goes down and volatility increases, that helps the lower side of this tent widen out. Now, I will say that does not happen every time. It depends on the market configuration, and time spreads act weirdly in that respect. You just need to understand that is a premise behind this trade. But anytime you're dealing with time spreads, they don't always play the way you think. But on the flip side, if our market goes up, volatility usually tends to drop. If our market goes up and volatility drops, look what that does to this side of the trade. That brings profitability into that side of the trade. So again, this trade is the flyagonal trade. I have found it to be an extremely good trade with a phenomenal track record that I've been trading personally and live. So just wanted to share that here with the group as some food for thought going forward. And again, check that link out and play with it yourself. Always paper. Take care, everyone.